This is a general reading for entertainment purposes only. Watching my content does not constitute an advisory relationship such as therapy or legal counsel. I am not a certified medical or therapeutic professional, and my readings do not constitute professional advice. My readings are for confirmation of what you already intuitively know for yourself, not to get answers from me. General readings like this are like forecasting the weather for the entire planet. I can say that it is summer in the northern hemisphere, but summer looks very different from region to region. So please use your best judgment, take what resonates and leave the rest. And now let's get back to the video. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bee and I'm the Moonology Mystic. I'm doing another pick a card reading today. And today's theme is I really was thinking about this phrase, April showers bring May flowers. What's coming into bloom? We did the spring equinox stuff, and that was kind of like sowing the seeds. And, I'm in Washington, and we've just been having this temperamental weather and everything. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm ready for it to be May. This is coming out towards the end of May, but I'm filming it in the beginning of May. And I just kind of want to see what's coming into bloom. I'm ready to see what's ready to bloom. And I keep thinking about April showers bring May flowers. So specifically, like what's blooming out of the ashes, or any kind of difficulties that we've been going through, how is that yielding a positive result in our life, and how is that bringing abundance into our life? So this is kind of like an abundance reading, and we have 4 piles today. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, this is pile 3, and this is pile 4. I've drawn some oracle cards and some affirmation cards prior to doing this, and then we're going to use Old Faithful Guardian of the Night Tarot deck to do the readings. I'm not looking to make these too long just because, my energy is a little low this week, but I just wanted to see what would come out. So let's begin. Let's start with a little guided meditation. We're going to be doing some breathing, and I'm going to be counting. We're going to go in 4, out 5, in 5, out 6, in 6, out 7 for 3 breaths. Then do some normal breathing, and then just do some rooting and grounding prior to doing the pile selection. So listen for that music, and I want you to gently shut your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. And on our first inhale, in, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And allow your breath to return to a pattern that feels right for you. Continue to take deep, healing breaths, drinking in all of the air that's available to you, making space for abundance. There is enough air to go around to fill your lungs fully into your comfortable capacity allow yourself to intuitively gauge how much breath you need to drink in. And now bring your awareness to the soles of your feet. And on your next exhale, feel yourself exhale beautiful, vibrant roots from the soles of your feet, reaching deep down into the earth and branching outwards from your center. Feel the warmth and the moist nourishment of the soil beneath your feet. Now sense a beautiful white light coming from the core of the earth, breathing in through your root system, this beautiful white light, and feel this light travel up your root system, up through the floors and through the soles of your feet. Feel this light travel up over your calves and over your thighs. Feel it travel up over your hips and torso and through your heart, out your arms and hands, up your neck and up your head, over your third eye, and then feel it breathe out through the crown of your head, blossoming into a little lotus flower at the crown of your head. And see that flower give off sparkling light, kind of like pollen drifting around and gathering around you like an egg or a shell that protects you and shields you, knowing that you can get everything that you need here from the earth, feeling grounded and rooted into this present moment. You may now take a moment to call upon your guides or any sort of guiding influence that you feel drawn to, and ask for their help in selecting a pile that contains a message that you most need to hear right now. And it's okay if you're not drawn to any pile, or if you're drawn to more than one. It just means that there's messages for you in multiple piles. And now bring your awareness to the room around you as you begin to shift your feet and your hands, wiggle your shoulders and your hips, and gently open your eyes and gaze upon these 4 piles. And I will allow you some time now to choose your pile, pause the video if you need. Otherwise, once you've selected your pile, you may go to the chapter selection or my video description to go to the timestamp that corresponds with that pile, and I will see you there. Bye. Hi, pile number 1. You chose the Air Spirit card, which is number 1 in the deck. I thought that was kind of interesting. And there's knowledge here. I feel like there's kind of, you're sending something out, like a wish, or you're either like receiving knowledge from, above. So this is divinely guided knowledge, or you are sending out a message. She's in this boat and she's kind of drifting through the air. So I think this is really interesting. It's like she's going on a journey and maybe she needs some information, to plan that out, or needs to gather more tools to make it possible to move forward. So we'll start there. we do have some oracle cards, so I think I will save these for last. And then we have some moon cards. Your pile got an extra card, so you got 3, but you were supposed to only get 2. So let's start. This is like April showers bring May flowers. What's starting to bloom in your life and what do you need to know about it? So we have don't let your past hold you back. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. Ooh. I think you might want to check out my eclipse video if you haven't already, that I did for the forecast, because the full moon eclipse that happened on May 5th is a K2 eclipse with the south node in Libra. So yeah, ooh, the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. So I feel like whatever is coming into bloom for you kind of started with the eclipse. Like there might have been, so that full moon eclipse was in Libra with the south node K2. And the big theme around that was, you know, it happened in the Aries Libra axis. And Libra is our relationships and Aries is our self-interest, and you know, basically it's the most selfish sign in the zodiac. It's where we really are like, I want that and I'm going to conquer that, you know. And so there was a lot of tension around relationships. You may have lost somebody in your life or walked away. Maybe you're like sailing away from a bad situation and you're kind of just looking for guidance on how to move forward. And the energy is gaining momentum. I think like whatever you're traveling away from, and I see these birds and I just feel like there's like this sense of freedom and taking flight from whatever happened here. And it's just about like, let go of the past. Don't let it stay in the past, you know? So pile number 1, let's get into your tarot cards. So I want to know, tell me what's going on for pile number 1. Starting off strong with the 10 of Cups. Pretty cool. Ace of Pentacles. 9 of Cups. Pile number 1, you are riding high. Okay. 3 of Cups. And the Devil. So here's what I'm noticing. Pile number 1. The first thing that I thought of was that there's this 3 of Cups is 3 raccoons. We started out with the 10 of Cups. There's 2 raccoons. So there's like a 3rd raccoon entering the picture. And I really get the sense that this is more about missing someone who you may have walked away from during that eclipse. The 10 of Cups is showing me that you are surrounded by loved ones and community. But for some reason, you're just still kind of like thinking about the past. These 3 raccoons that used to be like a trio together, and now it's not a trio anymore. And I think this is actually kind of holding you back a bit. That's what jumped out at me right away. The overall message is really positive. You have the 10 of Cups. You have the Ace of Pentacles. You have the 9 of Cups. You have the 3 of Cups. These are all really positive cards. This is all about being able to manifest your desires, being able to feel emotional fulfillment from the direction that you're heading in. And yet we end on the Devil. Why are we ending here? You know, that's not generally what I like to see. I prefer to see these up front so that you're moving away from it. So I think what this is talking about is like wishing for something that can't happen, that that is keeping you stuck in your past. And because you're longing so much for the past, you're actually binding yourself to it. Even though there's all this great freedom, like you're free from that. So, let's draw some more cards maybe. What exactly, can we clarify this devil a bit? Okay. The High Priestess. I see sparkling stars throughout here, and when I see this, I kind of see, something being sent off. So I feel like this is actually something that's kind of lurking in your unconscious, that your conscious attitude is like, yeah, okay, I'm living for me, I'm moving forward, I'm leaving the past in the past, but there's something like unconscious to you that's still clinging to the past. And maybe it's about going inwards and acknowledging that there is this part of you that really misses the past, that really wishes that you didn't have to walk away from certain people, and that it's okay to feel that way. And that once you acknowledge it, then you can process those feelings and actually be liberated. The K2, the South Node, is the node of the planet of liberation. And it's a malefic, so that means it tends to have inauspicious or negative associations with it. But that comes from the fact that what K2 takes away from us, liberates us from, are things that we tend to be very attached to. And the devil definitely speaks about disempowerment. And I keep thinking like the trio, because usually the devil depicts like the devil and there's like the lovers. And so I keep thinking like there is this really foreboding, domineering individual that was in your life that you walked away from, and you think that, like, okay, I've moved on, so what more do I need to do? I really think that this is just something that kind of takes some time to heal. And the best thing you can do is you can bring awareness to that part of you that feels, well, when you're so focused on moving forward, there's a tendency to maybe feel some fear around reminiscing about the past or missing the past or longing for people from your past or, thinking about people who maybe really hurt you but you had really positive memories with, and you're like, oh, well, I really wish things could be like that. And there can be resistance when you're trying to move away from that, from even acknowledging that you feel that way, because it's like, no, I'm supposed to move forward and not look back. But how do I put this? The feelings that you're feeling, even though they're connected to the past, they're like existing in the present moment, right? And so you have to actually feel them so that they can move through your body and be released out. And I think sometimes there is this unconscious wishing that's going on, and because you're not acknowledging those feelings, it kind of hinders you in a way. That was a really straightforward reading. Pile number 1, you have wonderful opportunities in your life right now. You are very much surrounded by love and joy. You are out here peacocking, and I just keep getting kind of drawn back to this. I feel like you have your 2 raccoons, the 2 buddies that are here, and you're missing that 3rd guy, but that 3rd guy isn't a raccoon. He's actually the devil. So it's like what you're missing is this idealized version of that person that you thought they were, but they actually weren't that for you. And yeah, I believe the High Priestess is talking to something that's like deeper, more on an unconscious level going on here. That's all that's really coming through. So I'm going to move on to these affirmation cards. The first card is what's hindering your abundance, and the second card is going to be what's supporting it. So pile number 1. My faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. So the way I read this is that there is like the feeling of fear, and having experienced conflicts and traumas is what hinders your abundance. But this this affirmation is going to help heal that, right? And this is about faith. So there's like a lack of faith going on. Like maybe you're sending out your wish to the universe, but you're kind of just sailing forward and you're kind of not sure, is it going to go through? You know, it's kind of you need some certainty rather than allowing yourself to step back and surrender to the process and allow it to just manifest on its own. So this is about tapping into your capacity to feel faith in your manifestation, and faith that things are definitely improving, right? And that they aren't going to backslide. You aren't going to slide backwards. In fact, that could be a fear here, is that you might be afraid of letting new people in because you're worried about repeating the past. You have to be able to have faith in yourself that you won't repeat the past. And this is what you're already doing that's supporting your abundance. So my capacity to tune into the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. So you're already doing a really great job of showing yourself self-compassion. You've worked really hard to be able to do that. And by taking these actions, that was an act of self-compassion towards yourself. I think that if you continue to draw up on this, it's going to help restore your faith into where you're going, so that you don't have to feel uncertain about the direction that you're going in. And I thought it was interesting that we talked about this I am lost, and I see this girl just kind of out at sea, you know, in her sky ship, and it's like you might just feel like you're kind of drifting right now and you don't feel too grounded yet because things have shaken up so much. And it's just going, again, I feel like what you're going through is just going to take some time to settle into that new feeling of your life without this person, basically. You know what? I feel like this space needs an extra card. So I am going to draw from a deck that I initially did not plan on using. So this is the Whispers of Healing deck. Very nice and gentle. So let's see what pile number 1 needs. Acceptance. I feel like these two kind of are mirroring each other. Let me read out of the booklet for this one. Though not easy, it is important to start accepting how you feel. Pain, illness, discomfort, work, stress, miscommunication, and poor timing are all part of life. Accepting how you feel right now is the first step towards healing. Being in physical or emotional pain can put you on edge. You may be angry that you must face a challenge. You may feel down because you don't understand why something is happening to you. Accepting what is going on may help you identify the root cause of your disappointment. You can then explore your options and determine your preferred outcome. Accepting a situation does not mean agreeing with it, but it can help you come to a sense of peace. Consider your beliefs concerning a higher source or power. Acknowledging something as part of your spiritual development can help you move towards acceptance. Trust there is a divine plan in place that will guide you through each challenge. Reinforcing your spiritual beliefs will enable you to turn your problems over to the universe. Once you let go and move into acceptance, the move into acceptance will happen with ease. A fairy rides on 2 flying fish while a huge wave bears down on her. Her head is back, her eyes are closed, and she looks unworried and carefree. She is completely surrendered and at peace. Flying fish symbolize the ability to be emotionally free and uninhibited. How great would that be? This fairy is aware the wave could crash over her at any moment, yet she does not care. She is at peace with the situation as she accepts she cannot control what has or will happen. Likewise, you may choose to accept a situation. I think that really helped support the reading about, there's this like feeling that is being avoided here, and it's actually keeping you, the fact that you are avoiding feeling the feeling is what's keeping you anchored to the past, even if you've consciously moved forward. And I think also acceptance and that element of surrender really ties back into this, bringing faith into your being, basically. Because when we lack faith, that's really about an insecurity around control. Faith is an act of surrender, because it's kind of saying like, I don't need to control the outcome of this or make something happen in order to trust that it's going to happen. I'm going to choose to surrender and surrender what I can't control, or what's frankly not reasonable for me to control because it's too stressful and stuff like that, and just handing it over to the universe. So I think if you start to practice faith in your life and bring some element of acceptance into what's going on, you're going to see this come into bloom, really. This was April showers bring May flowers. You are on a really positive trajectory. There's this caution that you might be a little caught up in the past and not realizing it, because you think that to move forward you have to ignore your feelings about the past, but really to move forward you have to feel your feelings about the past. And then, you are free. I feel like this overwhelming sense of freedom. This Ace of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 10 of Cups, like those are all really positive cards. Those are all really great things happening in your life. I can't get too specific because it's a general reading, but an Ace of Pentacles, this is like financial opportunities. So maybe you're getting a new job or a new project or something like that, or you're getting a raise at work or something, or a promotion, whatever, But overall, it's like you're getting everything that you want, things are going really well for you. And yet we have this over here. So it's kind of like, I feel like you're getting a big thumbs up that you're doing really great, and that this is an area that you just need to work on, and you will truly feel liberated once you allow yourself to surrender over to the universe and just kind of let go of control. Just kind of let yourself be in the present moment. So pile number 1, that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and give me any feedback. I really enjoy hearing how people connect to the readings. And yeah, that was kind of short and sweet, but that's kind of how I wanted it to be. So I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hi, pile number 2. You chose the Moonlight Enchantment magic card. There's this wolf howling at a full moon. What I get is that so firstly, I feel like you actually may have intentionally tried to do some manifestation work or ritual, and you might be coming because you're curious about the results of that. I also see this like howling at the moon as I'm getting kind of mixed vibes. Like there's this enchantment, this synergy with the moon, but there's also like a kind of aching longing going on with it, especially with the darkness and everything. So let's move into that. I do have these cards are going to go at the end, and then we have 2 moon cards for you. The first one is Hold Your Vision, Full Moon. The next one is Your Commitment is Being Tested, First Quarter Moon. I kind of feel like... no, that's how they came out. But it's kind of interesting. It's the same quarter moon, really, on each card. So, again, I feel like you're really longing for this full moon. But your commitment's being tested. Hold your vision. So that's kind of the message you're getting. Hold on, I'm sipping my tea. So pile number 2, let's get into what you've been doing. Please tell me about pile number 2. Okay. All right. 7 of Wands and 7 of Swords. 3 of Wands. Okay. Temperance and the Queen of Swords. Okay. That doesn't feel too complete to me, so I'm going to draw one more card, and again, I'm just fixing on arranging these. Okay. Nine of Cups. Okay. Kind of felt like something like that was going to come out. Okay. We have the golden moon repeating here. Pile number 2. Give me a moment to really soak this in. First of all, I felt with the 7 of Wands that you're protecting something, and that might be your manifestation. Like, there might be people who want what you're manifesting, or you're keeping it a secret until, you're protecting it. And I feel like the 7 of Swords, what is the 7 of Swords trying to say? I keep being drawn to these other jaguars. So I feel like what came, like I heard gossip, and like you're worried about people gossiping about you. When I see 7 of Swords, I usually think about spiritual bypassing, like trying to sneak around, having to feel difficult things, but now that I'm really looking at it, I'm not sure that I totally connect that. I keep being drawn to these, like, protecting, trying to protect from the influence outsiders. And it's like you're guarding your resources. So, okay, that might be like resource guarding, really. 3 of Wands is, like, I see this wand here, and then we have this wand coming back. And then we have Temperance, and then we have this Queen of Swords flying off with the sword. The Queen of Swords, to me, screamed about self-doubt and kind of over-analyzing the situation rather than just letting it flow naturally. Because I feel like you know, these are like these apex predators, and it's like I gotta, and even, you know, the owl and the Queen of Swords to an extent is like I have to, and even wolf, you know, is like I have to be on the hunt, I have to watch out and defend my territory and things like that. And you know, maybe you have very good reasons for having to do that, but I do see here that you might benefit from a more laid back or ease, you know, about what you're doing, and having a bit more faith in the outcome. And, you know, you don't want to be too guarded because, sorry, my neighbors are knocking on their wall. You don't want to be too guarded because you don't want to keep yourself closed off to receiving, you know, this gift, this wand that wants to come in. And I feel like the Queen of Swords here is kind of using her sword in a way that's like, sorry, I have to pause and wait for the knocking to subside. Okay, I'm back. So it's kind of like she's using the sword to instead of using it in a constructive way, it's like she's looking for evidence that everything is going to go wrong. and is kind of like on high alert rather than going with the flow. Like temperance here is really about being able to kind of hold the line in a way, but in a way that's like, well, see, we have this frog, it's amphibious, and so it's both a land dweller and able to dwell in the waters, and these are the waters of the unconscious. So it's kind of like accessing the unconscious waters and being able to utilize that and draw upon that to achieve a state of balance and fluidity, you know, rather than rigidity. I am seeing with the Nine of Cups that things are going to go well for you, that you don't really have much to worry about, and this defensiveness is not necessarily serving you, is kind of what I'm getting. I do think that on some level, like, this was necessary at one point, but that the danger has passed, basically, and that now it's turning into a kind of paranoia, where, you know, instead of using this tool to be creative, it's like being used to sow anxiety and things like that, which inhibits your manifestation. But you are being encouraged to hold your vision and know that, like, this experience is a test, and you already have, you know, you're receiving what you need to pass the test, really. So let's look at these affirmation cards. The first card is what's inhibiting your abundance, and the way we're going to read it is this affirmation is going to heal what's inhibiting it. So it's going to be really helpful for you. And through reading the affirmation, we're going to kind of get an idea of what this is for, like what is blocking you. So, through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world. So this might be that you aren't meditating enough. It could also be that you struggle to feel at peace, and that is inhibiting your manifestation. And this is what you're already doing right. So let's see. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. I think it's kind of interesting that you basically got the same card twice. But I think what what I'm seeing from this is that you already know how to settle your nerves, basically. It's just about drawing upon that knowledge that you already possess and making full use of it and utilizing it. We're also going to draw a card from the Whispers of Healing deck. shuffle through that a little bit. Okay, pile number 2. We have unexpected. I guess I can throw that right there. Okay. Let's read from the book. I think again, like, this little girl is going down a staircase and she thinks everything is kind of bleh, but she doesn't realize that there's this beautiful, enchanting castle waiting for her around the corner. So I think that's kind of where you're at, is that you have gotten to a point where it's like, nah, this is never going to happen, you know, but at the same time you're kind of paranoid and whatever, and you're like, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And you don't realize that's like literally right around the corner. So so much of the world mistakenly believes there is a lack of resources. Resource guarding. Holding a scarcity belief can be quite painful and cause unnecessary fear and desperation. An attitude of abundance recognizes there are always new chances, unexpected windfalls, and opportunities on the way. There is never just one opportunity, a lone choice, or a single chance. The number of opportunities matches the number of stars in the sky. This card is a boon. Right now, you have a magical touch. You are going to receive good news, a huge opportunity, or something completely unexpected. Do you have a positive mindset? Believing you are abundant will really help you get through tight times. Affirming your abundance will help shift your mindset so you can accept a life of plenty. A young girl walks down a maze of steps to discover a beautiful crystal castle. There are numerous ways to get to this magical location. Fairies watch her as she approaches this place of splendor. The butterflies prompt you to work on manifesting what you desire. Expect something wonderful to happen soon. What a positive message. So, and in the spirit of April showers bring May flowers, you know, this scarcity belief. At one point in your life, you may have actually experienced that. You may have experienced poverty. You may have had people, you know, sabotage you or talk behind your back and stuff like that, or try and come and take your happiness away from you. And part of this is realizing that, like, what happened in the past isn't necessarily happening in the present future, and it doesn't really serve you to go looking for ways that everything can go wrong, and to be so guarded, because that keeps you from, you know, again, we saw this bird earlier that wants to come in and give you this wand that is going to help you manifest and really create the life that you want for yourself. And realizing that that fear and stuff that lurks in your past and your subconscious, like, the lessons from that are available to you. You know, you already learned the lessons and you already know how to kind of like cope and soothe through these difficult times when you're not sure whether something is going to work out the way that you wanted. But the Nine of Cups here is really reassuring you, and so are these moon cards that, like, magic is on the way, you know, especially this unexpected, like just hang in there basically, and try to just surrender and allow yourself to be still. You don't have to control everything. You don't have to force things to happen for them to happen. Sometimes you just get to sit and enjoy the ride. So try and sit and enjoy the ride. Pile number 2. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciated being able to read for you today. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and give me any feedback if this resonated with you. I really enjoy hearing how people have connected with my readings, and I hope that this was helpful for you. And take care, enjoy this season, and bye-bye. Hi, pile number 3. You chose the Wild Rose Fairy, Love. So maybe you are looking for love, or maybe this is a call for some self-love and compassion. I kind of see like this curiosity in the fairy's eyes, like peeking around, like, oh, who's out there for me? I want to find love. So that's kind of what I'm getting from that. These cards are going to come out at the end, and we also have some moon cards for you. So let's see. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. And then we have a time for healing. Balsamic moon. Okay. So based on these three cards, I'm kind of seeing there was a tough cycle basically. And you might just be in need of I'm getting a sense like maybe you broke up with somebody, or you're separating from someone, and you're kind of longing for that connection, and kind of peeking out, looking around and seeing if it's out there for you. It could also be that, again, this is a call for self-love, and that you went through a really hard time. I feel like there was this strong sense of burden and having to shoulder everything all by yourself. Yeah, and that there was something that kept you really isolated, and that you really are longing for a connection of some kind. And it might just be, it doesn't have to be romantic, but it could just be like you're so done with the Capricorn energy, you know, that you're ready for positivity and things. But I feel like with a time for healing, the balsamic moon, I kind of feel like you're not quite there yet. Like there's still some healing that can be done. So pile number 3, let's see what's going on for you. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles. Ten of Swords. Again, like shouldering everything all on your own. 5 of Wands. This is like fighting against the current. 8 of Pentacles. Gosh, you have really had to do a lot on your own. And yeah, the 7 of Wands. And pile number 3, let's see. So, 8 of Wands. Okay. So, pile number 3, I see there, this Knight of Pentacles is like, I feel like you have really been trekking up a mountain of resistance, you know, and not, yeah, there's like, it's like you're trying to get to the top of the mountain, and the way to the top of the mountain is full of mud and sand. It's not easy to step through. There's a lot of places where you're getting stuck, or it's just a very uphill battle, but you're really, I see the 8 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles as like you have really committed yourself to this, and nothing is really stopping you, no matter what gets in your way. You know, the 5 of Wands too. So let's get into that a bit. So the Knight of Pentacles is represented by a donkey, and donkeys are notorious for being very stubborn and bullheaded, and they just do their thing and they just do it anyways, no matter what anyone says. The 10 of Swords for me, you know, there's pain there, but also this is like, so this species of bird, they basically, the mothers find nests of other birds, kick their eggs out, and then lay their own eggs, and then abandon the baby there, so that this baby ends up being mothered by a completely different species of bird, and that mother's eggs get cracked and killed. So it's like a parasitic bird species. And so I see this always as like there's something that's taking from you and taking from you and taking for you and from you and giving you nothing in return. And it's like, usually I would say that it's like a person in your life, but I feel like this is something internal. Like, it's like a hole, you know, that you keep trying to fill up, but nothing can really satisfy it. It's like a depression or something. And that can definitely be very in line with a Capricorn type of vibe. Gosh, yeah, it's like there's something that can't be satisfied here. And it's really painful, and it takes a lot from you. And you're trying to, you're just trying to do it over and over and over, hoping that it works. The Five of Wands depicts a beaver damming up a raging river. Well, that's the definition of running against the current. It's like you're just pushing through, even though the waters are like, no, go this way. And I want to be careful about what I say, because I don't necessarily see a lot of indicators going one way or the other, but generally when I see someone like pushing forward and pushing, it's, there's issues around control and really trying to push through things and have control and force something to happen when there's a better way, you know? And the other thing I'm seeing is that like this river is like you're damming up your emotions, trying to prevent yourself from being ran over by emotions or swept away. You're afraid that you're going to be swept away by the riptide. And you might be afraid, like, this time for healing, this, like, you're looking out, you really want it, but I feel like it's not time yet. Like, you still have to process what you've been through. Yeah. Because it's like, until you do that, like, this is never going to be satisfied. You know, you can't satiate with this by hopping into another relationship or finding another job or something to fulfill you. You know, there's a lot of ways that people try and fill the holes in their heart. You know, it's not always just with another person. Sometimes it's with a job. Sometimes it's with a new hobby. Something that gets people feeling excited. But really it's like a form of spiritual bypassing. And yeah, I really see, like, this card feels positive to me. It's like you can take all of this determination and in the determination that you have applied to trying to force your way through this healing period can be redirected into constructing an environment for yourself where you can accomplish that healing. And I see the Seven of Wands as kind of like setting boundaries with obligations and people in your life who aren't supporting your healing process, really. Like, they might just be more takers, you know, or like you're giving too much to other people, basically. You need to save some for yourself. And yeah, you have really incredible determination and focus. And this is kind of like the double-edged sword of having like a really well-placed Saturn in your chart. Maybe you are a Saturnian person, and that's why Capricorn came out here. Is that you can get like this. You know, you can become the workaholic and the avoid your feelings type. But the other thing is that you can use that determination to your advantage, to apply that to developing the skills that you need to be able to accept the flow of emotions, to be able to drift in the river and to stay afloat rather than being afraid of being ripped under and drowning, basically. And what I'm seeing is that the Eight of Wands is coming out at the end, and it's like, once you establish this, once you kind of like take that energy and kind of redirect it and refocus how you're using it, and kind of set up some boundaries between you and other people in your life so that you can have the space to heal, it's going to go much faster than you thought it would. The Eight of Wands is like, it's quickness, it's fast, it's just, you know, like a hawk striking down at its prey. So you've been avoiding all this because you're like, oh, I don't want to do it, I don't want to go through that, I don't want to feel those feelings. But you don't really realize that, like, you only have to feel them for a little bit. Like, it's not going to take you that long, you know, to process and be able to move on. But if you move on before you process, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment, really. So, you know, in the spirit of April showers bring May flowers, I think what's trying to blossom forth is that you do have, you know, this there's a flower that wants to bloom, but you need to water the garden first. You're trying to make it bloom and you haven't watered your garden, and the water is like the feeling and the emotions and stuff and nourishing yourself. So make sure you're taking time for yourself, because I think there's probably a lot. You know, I see this donkey kind of like sniffing out this pentacle. I think there's something that you're going to gain from having done that reflective healing process that you couldn't have just pushed your way through, that you had to stop and actually interact with this and learn something new about yourself. So now we're going to look at the affirmation cards. The first card is what's hindering your abundance. And the way we're going to read it is that the affirmation itself is the medicine for what's hindering your abundance, and it's going to point towards, you know, kind of what the problem is. So the key to prayer is to forget what I think I need. That is all of this. It's like you think that you need to keep pushing forward or forcing things to go a certain way, and you might not realize that you're actually blocking yourself out from receiving something even better, that, you know, you kind of had settled for less because you are looking at this from your limited perspective. Now this card is going to be what you're doing right already, and to just, you know, this is just going to reinforce that. So I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. You have like a nice dragonfly here. I think that's nice. So that's right. You are moving in a direction and you're heading that way, but I think the universe is just asking you to, again, create a little sanctuary for yourself so that you can actually process your emotions and heal from what you experienced. And now we're going to draw a card from the Whispers of Healing deck. So pile number 3, what did they need? Actually getting the top of the deck here. Oh, so we have Receive Healing. We'll read that out of the book. This is number 1, so it's the first step towards the Whispers of Healing. Okay. The first and most important step for healing is being able to recognize you need it. When you are asked about your health, you discount what is going on by stating you are fine. You are being asked to acknowledge your need for healing. Whether your wounds are physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, you may need the support of someone who can help you face your concerns. Take a moment to reflect on what is going on for you. This card is asking you to accept some extra support. It is letting you know that you don't need to do this alone. Professional advice will help you get the best information. Trust that you will find the support that best suits your needs. This card features an angel holding a caduceus. The caduceus indicates the beginning of a healing process. The snakes on the caduceus twist around each other to highlight the importance of increasing your knowledge and broadening your outlook. The angel's wings may signify soaring forwards or be encouraging you to allow a positive outcome to come forth. The angel's wings can also refer to your guardian angels or indicate angels may be showing up in your life. The presence of the angel means you will not be on this journey alone. Her rainbow-colored wings indicate there are new opportunities ahead. Rainbows can also represent the connection to your higher power. If a specific shade of the rainbow catches your eye, pay attention to the corresponding chakra. So with that being said, I'll hold this up a little bit so you can get a good look at the imagery. Yeah, I feel like pile number 3, we didn't get like a message of like there's this beautiful garden bursting forth. I feel like you're just kind of in this stage where you still need to tend to your garden. It's not ready to bloom yet, and it's okay, you know. I know that it's hard because, like, you know, when we're talking about Capricorn and all this stuff, there tends to be this survival mentality, and maybe you're so used to experiencing scarcity and whatnot that you feel like you have to be responsible for everything in your life. And there are times when it's okay to let go of that mindset and to just recognize that this is a time for healing, really. All right, pile number 3, that is all I'm seeing for you. Take care, really. I'm so sorry that you're going through a tough time, and I really hope that this was helpful for you. If you enjoyed my reading, or even if you didn't, if you have any feedback for me, I really appreciate if you leave a comment. I really enjoy hearing how people have connected to my readings. And if you would please like and subscribe, I really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi, pile number 4. You chose Meandering Pathway, Flow. And I see this wizard here with a staff that's radiating light, and I feel like you're letting your light guide you to even more light. And yeah, that you are very drawn to the light. You're very connected to light energy, really. And yeah, okay. So these cards we'll get to at the end of the reading. But we have 2 moon cards for you, so let's see. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. And nothing is yet set in stone. Mutable moon. So yeah, okay. So first of all, Gemini is a mutable sign. And we have mutable moon, and we have this meandering flow type thing going on. So something about mutable zodiac signs is like, so in astrology, we have cardinal signs, fixed signs, and mutable signs. Cardinal signs are like Aries, Capricorn, Libra, Cancer. They're very, they're like, they just go out there, they take initiative and do and really act proactively. They're very proactive. Fixed signs are more, it's fixed, so it's more stable. So, and then the mutable is more, it's like a passive type of flow to it. They're more amenable to like shifting directions. They're not necessarily set on a specific path. They're not necessarily going out blazing path. They tend to just kind of go with the flow. So you might have a lot of mutable signs in your chart. Yeah, and I just I see this kind of like shifting kind of things. One of the drawbacks that I feel called to mention with this type of thing is that you can feel really ungrounded, or you're like easily influenced by people around you. But I think, you know, you hold this staff of light and that you kind of know, you have like a sense, this is coming from a sense of trust more so than being ungrounded. So pile number 4, let's look at your tarot cards. What's going on for pile number 4? King of Wands, 8 of Swords, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords. I was not expecting this much swords to come out for this pile. Oh my gosh, 9 of Swords. Pile number 4. I've been duped. No, it makes sense if I really sit and think about it. Okay, I'm gonna do a quick little shuffle to get your last card. Okay, Page of Pentacles. Pile number 4. So the Swords suit is the air element, and Gemini is an air element, and it tends to have this bit of immutable quality to it. Gemini is associated with communication and speech, and that tends to also come out in the Swords. We see the King of Wands here, which is like this self-assured, like, yeah, I know where I'm headed type of thing. Or it's like you've set your sights on something and it's like, yeah. But I guess something that is that so what's coming through is that like things don't happen if you don't take action. They don't just come to you, right? And there's this nothing is set in stone thing, so it can be kind of hard to move forward and make a decision, you know, if the landscape is constantly shifting. And I feel like this wand and this wand's kind of connected, and so I feel like the King of Wands is like the wizard here, but then we have this 8 of Swords, the Page of Swords, the Knight of Swords, and the 9 of Swords. That's a lot of swords. And in particular, they're kind of like tough cards. So one thing is that you are a highly intelligent person, but this gets in your way sometimes. So the 8 of Swords is, you know, you're kind of like in this pit and you feel like there's no way out, and you're being circled by these owls, and there's this crescent moon here that keeps getting repeated throughout, even here, and even here, like, yeah. What do I want to say here? There's anxiety around the fact that nothing is set in stone. Yeah, there's this mental unrest, like answer seeking, like you need to know, I need to know, or else I can't do anything. How am I supposed to do anything or move forward if I can't know, you know, or, you know, I need more information. And so you work yourself up into this panic, and the Knight of Swords especially is like, I need to go, I need to grab the information, I need it. But he ignores all the water around him, and there's all this water. So I think there's a lesson here about finding your center in the storm. And how do you do that? Well, I think the Page of Pentacles here is kind of a lesson. The octopus is able to First of all, octopi are also highly intelligent creatures. But I feel like the octopus is using his intelligence in a more grounded, nourishing type of way, in a playful way, whereas the intelligence of the weasel and this barracuda is more about being forceful and cutthroat and slicing through, and really just getting to the heart of the matter, feelings be damned. Whereas the Page of Pentacles, I think, kind of has a more balanced way of going about that. So the interesting thing is that the Pentacle suit is the earth element, and so why is an octopus representing the Page of Pentacles? I think because there is a type of earthiness that comes from being connected to your feeling center as you use your intelligence to play with the resources and materials that you have around you. And that when you're able to find your center rather than this reactivity, because like when I see the Knight of Swords and all these swords together, I feel like there's this nervous energy, very frenetic energy that's like, I need to act, I need to do something right now, or else everything's gonna be terrible, you know? But the thing is that there's not much you can do right now. The waves are crashing around and you just have to wait for them to settle before you can take action. And since we do have the full moon in Gemini card coming out, I do have to call back. This video is coming out towards the later May, but on May 5th, we had a full moon eclipse in Libra, and Gemini was kind of involved because Mars was in Gemini, and Mars was in this Parivartan yoga with Mercury in Aries. And I'll link to that video so that you can kind of get an idea, because this was the energy of the eclipse, was that there was a lot of uncertainty, and there was going to continue to be a lot of uncertainty through the month of May, because Mercury, which rules Gemini, is currently retrograde, at least at the time of the eclipse. And he's spending a lot of time in Aries. He does not leave Aries until June 8th. And so while Mercury is in Aries, our impulses are really triggered. And we want to act impulsively and make impulsive decisions because the influence of Rahu in the sign and all the other factors going on make us feel insecure, and we feel like we need some type of concrete answer or something to move us forward, because we're seeing this scary environment and it freaks us out and we want to feel stability again. The lesson here is that you need to just be able to ride out the storm, and let it pass. Let it pass. You don't have to be doing this to yourself. Be more like the Page of Pentacles. This stability will come when Mercury enters Taurus. Like, our minds are going to settle down a bit and we're going to feel less agitated. And I feel like, you're starting from this King of Wands self-assured place, and then these energies are getting to the best of you, and you don't like that you feel like you're meandering. You want to feel like you're walking on a solid path, and the path doesn't feel solid right now. It's going to get more solid. And so, in the spirit of April showers bring May flowers, I think that this turbulence that you're experiencing right now is going to really help you access a part of yourself that can feel centered and grounded and stable no matter what's going on outside. And that is going to bring you to a sense of playfulness and peace that is going to help you reconnect with this King of Wands self-assuredness that you started out as, so that you don't fly off the handle as easily in the future. And also, you know, because we are talking about abundance, of course, the Page of Pentacles is talking about new opportunities that might be coming along, especially learning opportunities or any type of employment opportunities that you might be interested in. Anything creative as well. Like when I think of the Pentacles, I think of like working with clay or any type of artistic hands-on type of activity. Excuse me. Now we're going to do your affirmation cards. The first card is going to tell us what's hindering your abundance. And we're going to read it as the affirmation is the medicine for what's hindering your abundance. So this is going to give us a clue as to what you're actually in need of. So what we have is joy is the ultimate creator. So this is that playfulness that, you know, you need to kind of try and get into. Things don't have to be so serious. Go with the flow. And now this is what you're already doing really well, and this is just going to keep reinforcing that. So, true healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. So when we're in this triggered state, and this is the thing with the Knight of Swords, where he's surrounded by all this water, but he's just trying to slice through it and ignore it. But that fuels that triggered reactivity and that impulsivity, that like feeling that grips you where it's like, I need an answer now or else I won't be okay. And getting curious about like, where did that come from? Like, why is it that I won't be okay? You know, because everything's actually okay, but inside I'm not okay. So usually this is about control and needing a sense of certainty in your life. And often that comes from having grown up in an environment where that wasn't accessible to you, where, you know, you might have a disorganized attachment style. You may have had caretakers that were unreliable for one reason or another. And that creates a lot of uncertainty in a child. And that's very scary for a child when they can't depend on their caretakers to be stable or like emotionally well adjusted and whatnot. So allowing yourself to feel the grief and sadness and sometimes shame that's associated with that experience is going to help you be in control of your triggers so that they don't kind of take over your mind. And, you know, you don't want your triggers to hijack you, but you do want to be compassionate towards them. And now we're going to draw a final card from the Whispers of Healing deck. So pile number 4, what do they need? Hidden Blessings, number 26. So let's read that. No, that was underneath another card, so it literally was hidden for a second. So, there is a gift in every adversity. Your love, intentions, prayers, good wishes, and realizations are held in the consciousness of the universe. This energy circulates around you and may act as a source of comfort to you. Additionally, it may show up as nourishment, wisdom, and teachings. You may draw on this energy whenever you are in need. This card brings the important reminder that you are not alone. Whether you need encouragement, support, or wisdom, you can draw on the teachings of others. Adjust yourself through the frequency of their messages. The greatest blessings are the ones that are hidden within you. Your love and your heart will continue to grow until you attain happiness, healing, love, and enlightenment. This card expresses peace, calm, and trust through the color blue. This signifies a friend showing up in a time of need. Every situation has a gift. Even in the darkest hour, there is a blessing. It may not yet be in your awareness, but it is there. The maiden peers into a scene that is blossoming within a rose. Fairies of all shapes and sizes rush to her aid. Although the card is very dark, there is light emanating from everything. There is hope, light, and help coming to you from all corners of your world. So again, rest assured, pile number 4. Just go with the flow, ride out that storm. you know, you're already doing a great job kind of identifying your feelings and allowing yourself to really investigate them. But I feel like there's more room for joy in your life. So pile number 4, hang in there. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I hope this was helpful for you. And if you enjoyed this reading, I'd really appreciate your feedback in the form of a comment. And it would mean a lot to me if you would like and subscribe to my channel. And that's about it. Take care, pile number 4. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.